All right, so this is a big topic, and it's near and dear to my soul, my heart. You know why? Because it's how are we going to talk about and set up how to live off of dividends all by itself.
Whoa. Did everybody subscribe? You get so excited about the topic, you didn't remind people to subscribe.
I do forget that quite often, so subscribe. Now, this topic is so good because when you're going to retire, I mean, we're just so used to save.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people forget or don't think about that, hey, I've got all this money, now how am I going to live off of it? You know, it's not just how much can I build my nest egg to? It's how is my nest egg gonna feed me?
Yep.
Am I going to have to crack eggs every single day?
Well, and they forget why they're building that nest egg.
Yeah.
So big. I feel
Just
like a lot.
understand.
It's the conversation of like, well, how much can I expect in growth? How much can it get this big? Well, why are you trying to get it that big? You know, whatever their number is.
Yep.
I think it was
ING.
ING that used to have,
Yep.
what's your number? And they had this pot. But realistically, all they're trying to do is like, then how does that generate income for you?
Well, that number, I used to love that commercial because I think the marketing was so good, but they were talking about the wrong number.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were talking about this big dollar amount. They weren't talking about the interest you need to earn on the big dollar amount. So I think they got the marketing right, but they're looking at the wrong number.
Right.
Because if we understood how much return we actually had to make or yield we had to make on that number, it changes the whole scenario. So I love what they did, and I wish they still had it.
Yeah.
You know why they stopped doing it? Because it didn't work.
Yeah.
It led most people to fear. Going, well, I'm never gonna save that amount of
can't
money.
get that
Because they were looking
Yeah.
at the wrong number.
And then as soon as you get it, inflation hits. And you're like, wait a minute, I thought I had that.
Because it was so good. 'Cause everybody was like, what's your number? What's your number? And all of a sudden, it just went away.
Yep. And then
You know why it went away?
They even had the trails.
Yeah, because
you know?
it didn't lead to business. Because everybody's like, I'm not going to them because they're going to tell me I got to save more money than I'm capable of selling or
Yes.
saving. So I'm not going to go talk to them.
Yep. And I got to have that before I can ever retire.
Yeah.
Not, we can earn this throughout retirement.
Yeah.
That's good.
So when it comes to retirement and income, what do most people think of? Like where's their heads at? Like when they think about, hey, I've got all this money, now I'm going to hit the retire button, the easy retire button. What are they thinking?
Well, do I have 4%? I can spend 4% a year or 5% a year and not run out of money.
So the 4% rule
Yeah,
is
the
one of them.
4% rule, but they say it's now 5%. Like it's now
Because
within-
interest rates went up?
Yeah, that's
And people haven't
Interesting.
saved as much.
right.
Because they have to spend more of what they have.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
What else?
I mean, I think that's the biggest one is that you just have to sell shares to get there.
Right.
That or, you move into something conservative like a bond or annuity that can help bridge the gap a little bit.
I think for me, in the 25 years that I've been in this business now, it really comes down to this one phrase that I've heard most of my career: am I going to run out of money?
Right.
I think our mind, because of what we do, we go to the 4% rule. We go to, hey, they're going to grow, they're going to have to sell shares. But the reality is they come in and they're like, I have no idea.
Right.
Yep.
I've
And
just
it's like,
saved all this
I
money.
just don't want to run out of money.
Right.
I don't know. That's why I'm going to see you.
Right.
You tell me. And if you get in front of the wrong person, that becomes a very dangerous proposition because they might want to be selling a certain type of product or make a certain type of commission. And now there's like, you just opened up a can of, you know what, because now you're susceptible, whatever the heck they're going to sell on that given day. So this is a very important topic to discuss because it's not just about trusting who you're in front of. It's about understanding what you need, your situation. We're biased to simplicity. It's a planning tool to help you understand your shortfall because your shortfall is the key to helping you get better. It's what's wrong with you.
Yep.
Right.
If you don't know what's wrong with you, how are you going to ever get better? So once you understand what's wrong with you financially, then you can test scenarios and strategies to fix what's wrong with you
Get that
to see if
treatment
you
plan.
can, get your treatment plan to see if you're not going to run out of money.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I think everybody wants to answer that question. Do I have enough to live?
Sometimes people come in and it's not like they're holding their breath, but in some respects, they're holding their breath because they go, I've saved. Is it enough? And it's almost like they're waiting for us to tell them. And without a planning tool, which many people have never had, they're nervous. It's a big fear.
So let's talk about the math behind this. All right. This is really to understand what their shortfall is really.
Yeah.
All right. So walk me through it. Who wants to start?
Well, that's to me, that's the ING number. It's what are you wanting to live on in retirement?
Yeah.
Because that sets everything.
What
You
we
wanna
call
live
your
on
lifestyle.
your lifestyle income.
Right.
Is it 100,000? Is it 150? Is it 200? Is it 400?
Is it 65?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we've got clients that are all over the place. So that informs everything else because then you can start piecing this together. But you have to understand what that lifestyle income is first.
So that's the first thing. Now we're talking about how to retire on dividends here. So then there's another number that's really important. Your first number is your lifestyle. That is the first place to start. Okay. Simple rule of thumb here is you take how much money that you're living on. Okay. And you subtract what you were saving out of your paycheck. Okay. So if you have $100,000 income and you're saving $15,000 and for 401ks and savings and different things, or spending it on kids, so you're really living on 85,000.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, so that's a starting place. It might not be where you end up, but that's a starting place. After you know that number of lifestyle, which is most important, what's the second most important number?
Well, I think right up there is going to be your Social Security income. That's an important part of it as well. Before you get into where you're saying, I think whether it's Social Security, pension, which is very rare these days for folks to have that, but that's an important part of it. But then it's also understanding, what percentage can you live off of, or is there some sort of income generation at a 4%, at a 5% that's going to distribute that?
So the 4 and 5%, what was that number?
That's your yield.
Yield.
The yield.
That's what I was going for.
Sorry.
Squirrel. That and Social Security is important. It's funny. That's a whole nother discussion because it's like, do I have? Because everybody's like, well, with the current administration or last administration, they're going to take away my Social Security. Until some president takes it away, I'm going to plan on it being there. Can you? That'd be like a short-lived presidency. Somebody takes away that Social Security.
Or just lawsuit.
Taxes might go up
it'd be.
before that.
I imagine the lawsuits that would happen if somebody denied Social Security of what you paid in for your whole
Mandated
career.
to pay into.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't even have a
it ain't
choice.
going
They just
away.
take it out.
Now they might means test it or do some different things. It's a whole nother show.
Yes.
I don't even wanna get into it.
Right. I was just going to say.
I can just feel the emotion
Yeah.
coming out of everybody listening to it. They're turning red right now. Do you know who the president is? It doesn't matter. It's the same situation.
Same thing.
All right. So dividend yield is important. Conservative yields are going to be somewhere between 3 and 5%. So we're just going to live in that ballpark.
Right.
Simple division here is the example. If you had $60,000 that you needed, your lifestyle that Kyle was talking about, Social Security aside, if the number was $60,000 and you had a 4% yield, you would need roughly $1.5 million of assets to generate if your shortfall was $60,000. Okay, which is, it helps you understand our yield's going to be higher than 4%. But at the end of the day, you have to understand the math behind your shortfall.
Yeah, because then you can, all right, now I actually know what I'm trying to solve for, what that shortfall is. So now let me go do my research, go find the right stocks and the mix of stocks that can cover that shortfall, that yield.
So shortfall is, now I'm going to go back to what Cal was talking about here. If we have a lifestyle we want of $100,000, she's used a very simple scenario. $100,000, I got Social Security of 30. So my shortfall, and I don't have any pensions and other sources of income, I have $30,000 coming in Social Security. I have a desired lifestyle of $100,000. My shortfall is now $70,000 year one.
Yep.
Right.
Then you have inflation,
Right.
cost of increases, things. So, but we know it's going to be 70,000. So do I have enough asset base to generate $70,000 of income based on whatever that yield is, which is a whole nother thing. Can we get 5 or 6% conservatively in dividends? The answer to that would be depends.
Depends, yeah.
But the reality is understanding what your shortfall is probably the most important aspect of planning, because it's what's wrong with you.
critical.
If you go to the doctor, you're like, I got this creak in my back, or I got this thing in my neck, or I got this weird thing that's happening to me. What the doctor's going to want to do is diagnose you. Like, what's your problem? I don't want to treat the symptom. I want to treat the problem.
Right.
That's right.
But when it comes into, investing, I personally believe that your fear is a symptom. The problem is the math.
Yep.
Okay, your shortfall. And that's a controversial thing to say in planning, because what's more important than how I feel about risk?
Right. How I feel about
Well, how do you feel about risk? It changes by the minute.
It For sure.
You know?
Depending on what article you read before you come in, how you
Right.
woke up,
What
if you had
talking heads you
breakfast or
listen to in
didn't.
the morning.
That's so difficult to have that conversation because the industry says you have to invest according to risk. And I'm like, well, what if you have an 80-year-old, who hates risk, but needs a yield of like 7%?
Yeah.
Right.
Where are you going to go get no risk at 7%? So you can design a plan that can solve her shortfall,
Right.
but she has to take risk, but she doesn't want to take risk. What do you tell the client?
Your buddy would say, you got to run them out of money.
You got to, yeah. The industry would say you got to run them safely out of money, and just, it is what it is because they don't want to take risks. And you can't even tell them that there's another solution to do it because it'd be going against what is the most
risk
important to the
profile.
client. Is it really? What's most important to the client? That they don't run out of money? Because if you safely run them out of money, then they're going to just have Social Security at some point in their life. And that's it, because their assets are gone, but she didn't have to take any risk.
Yeah. And now she's really fearful.
Yeah. And what happens when that
Just
asset base starts
exacerbated
doing
the
this?
fear.
Yeah, it got worse.
Yes.
So risk is super important,
Right.
but it takes a back seat to the math.
That's right.
The math is the most important
And
thing.
if you can't get past it, you need to make adjustments now. Like if you need a little, you're not willing to put some more money at risk, you may have to work a few more years or live on a little bit of less. Those are choices that you need to make to solve the math equation instead of solving for your emotions.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that you, in every situation, you invest according to the math, but you better know the math.
That's right.
You make
decisions
whatever
accordingly.
decisions you want to make based on your risk tolerance. But if you're making them solely on risk, I think you might be making some poor decisions because you can have somebody that needs no risk and all they want to do is they forget about dividend stocks. They're just like, no, I want to go buy every, crypto, whatever, because I love risk. And you're going to find yourself running out of money because you just enjoy risk. Right. So you can flip that scenario any which way you want. So are there any misconceptions that we need to talk about?
One of the big ones is that, dividend investing, you must have tons of assets. Like you got to have $5-10 million to be able to even generate any type of income from dividends, which we know from working with clients every single day, that's not the case. You can generate income with the smallest amounts, and then it's all about figuring out the math.
Yeah.
Is what you actually need.
That's that ING number. Don't just look at the big number, look at the little one.
That's right.
And you want the smallest number possible. So it's kind of like golf, where the lowest number wins. Like if I had to choose between needing a 6% rate of return to never run out of money or a 0 to never run out of money,
Right.
I want a 0. I want to know that I've saved enough that I can generate all the income I need without needing anything from Uncle Sam, the market, Social Security, pensions. Like I'm good enough where I'm at.
And that's where the extra go to legacy. It's not like it goes to waste. It can potentially go to legacy.
I feel like it's the race to 0. Like at the end
race
of the day,
to 0, yes.
I want to make
Yes.
sure that I don't need anything. I don't need any growth because the yield sustains me.
Yep.
If I can get a yield, and I've had so many of my clients that when they started with me, they needed a yield of 5%, 6%, 7%, 3%, whatever the number is, and now they don't need any growth.
Right. Such a freeing feeling.
So freeing. I have
So
clients
freeing.
that literally celebrated the year of 0.
Yep.
Right.
We're like, we did it. We've got our lifestyle in a place, our assets in a place, and we're earning enough dividend income that I don't need any growth for the rest of my life. That doesn't mean they don't want growth. That doesn't
right.
mean we're saying we're not
Right.
getting them growth.
Right.
All that means is they don't need
gravy.
it.
They don't need it.
It's all gravy. It's all extra. It's extra legacy they're going to give away.
And one of my favorite comparisons that one of the clients made, if you let the tree grow and you only live on the apples that it produces and you never touch the branches, you never have to cut off the branch, you'll forever have those apples that fall. And I guess rainy day or legacy becomes when the branches get used. It's a freeing feeling when you can just take the apples that'll grow back every year and you never have to rip off the branches.
Mm-hmm.
It's that's where a few of the clients will say, so wait a minute, I finally hit to where I don't have to take off a piece of the branch. You made it. And it is.
Just eat the fruit.
It's the freedom and the comfort when you're in retirement to know it's a little hard to go back to work sometimes when you're, north of 75 and having the feeling of knowing that you never have to do that if the market has a tough time, it actually helps your health. Some people have told me because you can relax.
Oh, you don't have to stress.
You don't have to
does help your
stress.
health.
It helps your health.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
let's talk about the practical steps that we've kind of gave a lot of information on. Let's just narrow this down. So step 1 is calculating your lifestyle.
Yep.
Figuring out what that lifestyle is, including Social Security, including everything. What's step 2?
Identifying what that yield is that you need.
So with Simplicity, we're going to help you calculate your lifestyle. Once we're done with that, it's actually going to help you figure out that yield. It's going to solve for it.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're going to know the exact yield you would need to make sure you never run out of money. So understanding your lifestyle, figuring out your shortfall, which will help you conclude the yield that you need. What's next? You do the division for assets. I think the reality is find the strategy that's going to get you to where you want to go.
Find the group of companies that can fill that yield now.
So we're talking about dividend stocks here.
That's it.
Plain and simple is now we're building a portfolio.
Go piece the Exxons and Coca-Colas and Johnson and Johnsons and all the others that have this long history of paying great dividend income and increasing income, and you can rest in that, that security that it's there.
So lifestyle, shortfall, yield, dividend portfolio.
Let's go have some fun.
4-step process.
Retire comfortably and not stressed.
Yeah. So closing this down here, if you haven't subscribed to the show, subscribe to the show. We have a dividend starter kit for you. If you're a subscriber to the show, just put in the comments down below, hey, I'd like to get my hands on that dividend starter kit, or you can direct message us in any platform that you're listening, and we'd love to get that in your hand. Thanks, guys. This is a good show.
Yeah.
God bless.